the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal, وَإِذِ ابْتَلَى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال أهد الظالمين. Allah Azza wa Jal, when he tested and tried Ibrahim, when his Lord tried Ibrahim with words, and he completed them. And that is something that Allah refers to Ibrahim by way of in more than one place. And consider, Ikhwan, the story of Ibrahim. In essence, it is a story of a man, Ikhwan, who had i'tisam with Allah Azza wa Jal. Consider, from the time that he was young, giving da'wah to his people, and the people rejected him. And for the most part, Ibrahim was alone. To the time that he was hurled into the fire, and the people rejected him. And for the most part, he was alone. To the time that he left with his wife, him and his wife only, and his nephew. And for the most part, he was alone. In fact, there were from them those who, even when they saw, there's a hadith that is Hassan, that even when they saw the nephew of Lut, and some mention that it was the son of Lut, that when they saw him walk from the fire, that he said, who was from among the kuffar, he said the only reason that he was safe and saved was because of my relation to him. Because related to me, that is why he was saved. That is why the Creator saved him. And so a head of a flame came out of the fire, took him and burnt him after he made that statement. But look at the life of Ibrahim. Alone, and Allah is aiding it. Alone with Allah, and Allah aids him. Thrown into the fire, alone with Allah, Allah aids him. Went and debated the king, alone with Allah, Allah aids him. Thereafter, migrated with his wife and his nephew, but alone. Yani not like as we have in our time, friends, companions, associates. He was belied and rejected and pushed out and shunned. Alone with Allah. Migrated to Haran, alone with Allah. Traveled from Haran to Sham, a land that they were strangers in, alone with Allah. Traveled from Sham to Egypt when they went through that adversity, alone with Allah. Traveled from Egypt back to Philistine, alone with Allah, until he came of age. The son that he received, that he had to go and slaughter, or was commanded to slaughter, him alone with the one member of his family, Allah Azza wa Jal commanded him to do so, but he was still ready. Alone with Allah, carrying out the command of Allah. And then, ayyuhal ikhwa, up until the end of his life, fulfilling, carrying out, fulfilling, being concerned with Allah. And so Allah Azza wa Jal made him his Khalil. Yani there aren't numerous narrations of him having plentiful friends. Allah Azza wa Jal made him his Khalil, because his life revolved around Allah. Look how Allah Azza wa Jal raised him when his state was such. Look how Allah Azza wa Jal made him an imam for the dunya forever. And an example for all of us to consider. Look at the life of this noble man that walked upon the face of the earth with Allah. And if there is one lesson that we extrapolate, and when you go on Hajj, Ikhwan, if Allah blesses you to go on Hajj, and we make dua for those of you who have not been, that Allah blesses you with ease to go. These are the lessons that you extrapolate. You consider everything that you are carrying out here. Hajar with Ismail alone with Allah. That is the attitude that the Muslim should have, the mu'min should have. Yeah, and you don't consider everybody else that is around you. That is not to say that we don't consider our friends and families and companions. We love them and we cherish them. But develop this attitude of you and Allah. Then you see how Allah Azza wa Jal will be with you. When you have that attitude of you and Allah, look, ikhwan, at the outcome. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned him in the last of the books that were revealed, thousands of years after Ibrahim. وَإِبْرَاهِيمَ الَّذِي وَفَّى. Ibrahim, who fulfilled that which was upon him. إِنِّي جَائِلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا. That we will certainly make you an imam for the people. And he mentioned, قَالَ وَمِن ذُرِّيَّتِي. What of my offspring? And look at the concern of Ibrahim. Yani, the concern of Ibrahim was my offspring with Allah. What of my offspring? Allah Azza wa Jal knew what he intended. He said, قَالَ لَا يَنَالُ أَهْدِ الظَّالِمِينَ. My covenant will not encompass the wrongdoers. And so those who claim that we're from Bani Israel and we're the children and the offspring of Ibrahim and we're the chosen ones, how are you the chosen ones? Are you being as Ibrahim was? Are you fulfilling that which Ibrahim was given? The dua that he made for Ahl Makkah, that, oh Allah, raise among them a prophet and a messenger, teaching them the book and the wisdom and purifying them. Are you fulfilling all of that? What is it that makes you the chosen? Blood? Bas? If that is even established for you, what is it that makes you chosen? We see throughout the Bible, as we find throughout the book of Allah, the Quran, the only thing that raises your station is you're fulfilling that covenant that you have with Ibrahim, or the covenant of Ibrahim with Allah, and the covenant that Allah Azza wa Jal has taken with you, and the covenant that you have taken with him. That is what is present throughout the book of Allah and the previous scripture. And that is what will raise us, ayyuhal ikhwa, in the dunya and in the akhirah.